What is going on, guys? My name is AK back in with another YouTube video. Now in today's video I'm going to be discussing the changes to the meta that are going to be coming in Black Ops Cold War. If you haven't been on Twitter recently or you sort of don't follow the competitive scene that closely, you might not know, but actually a whole load of weapons have now been GA'd both in the pro scene and the amateur scene. So I'll be going through and explaining that all for you and sort of showing you what the future of competitive COD or competitive Cold War is going to look like. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you do, be sure to drop a like and let's get straight into it. So as you can see, it hopped into a game of League play. We've got a Moscow S&D, which isn't normally my favourite for recording, but I think given that I'm still sort of getting used to the whole gameplay commentary thing, having a game mode that's a little bit slower might actually help out. But anyway, we've got a lot to talk about in today's video. I want to start it off with the XM4 GA. So if you're someone that actually follows the European scene, you'll know it in the European amateur side of things. The XM4 has actually been GA'd, or had been a while ago. And people weren't too happy. The pros actually hadn't agreed to do this, but since making that video, the pros have now agreed to that, and so has the North American amateur scene. So the XM4 is banned across the board. Now there is actually another GA that has sort of been adopted across the pro scene as well, and this is actually the barrel attachments on the AK-74U. So the muzzle brake and the Spetsnaz compensator. I'll quickly show you them here. So here, the muzzle brake and the Spetsnaz compensator are both actually gone. Well, they're not gone, but they're GA'd now in competitive gameplay, so you can't actually use them in, I guess, in top amateur or the pro league. You probably won't be seeing that, and that's sort of to counteract the fact that the AK-74U is actually quite overpowered now that the XM4's gone. There's actually nothing really to compete with it, so they're trying to tone it down a little bit to make it a little bit more competitive. Now, from the few sub players that I've talked to, actually people aren't too happy about this, and they make it sound like the AK-74U might not necessarily be as overpowered as it has actually been up until now, and there might actually be some potential arguments for new SMGs in the meta, namely the MP5 is one that I hear quite a few people talking about at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how that actually plays out. But my guess is that the AK-74U will still probably be used just because of sort of how good the gun is, and I think even without the muzzle sort of attachments gone now, I still would say it's probably better than the MP5 just in terms of sort of raw gun power. I think it is just a better gun even with that sort of attachment taken off. But it isn't just the SMG players that are trying new things, the ARs are too as well. I saw a tweet by, I believe, CDO Intel that actually tweeted out saying some of the pros were trying the QBZ, I believe it's called. I've barely used the gun. I think I got it gold and haven't used it since. But there's some potential people using that, which should be interesting to see. It has actually already been GA'd in Europe, which now brings the European GAs for assault rifles up to everything bar the Krig and the FFAR. Now, in my mind, when you're having to GA more weapons in a category than you're actually allowed to use, there's probably something a little bit wrong with the GA system there. You know my opinion, guys. I'm not too much of a fan. I think it does take away from people's ability to actually innovate in the game and come up with new ideas. But of course, no one ever listens to that, and their mindset is GA everything that they don't like to play against. But as for my predictions in terms of the AR things, I'm still expecting the Krig to be the main AR. It is still a very solid gun, and even during sort of the XM4 days when the XM4 was used, the Krig was still used as well as a very solid second AR on a couple of the S&D maps, and maybe even a few appearances in Hardpoint here and there. So definitely still viable, and so my guess is that the Krig will remain the sort of the main AR on the map. It will kind of slow things down though, because it doesn't have as much mobility as the XM4, so it really will sort of start to define the differences between the sub and AR players that sometimes got a little bit blurred with the XM4 being that gun could pretty much do anything. But for those of you that are playing in the EU scene as well, there is also some discussion, I suppose is probably the best way to put it, about bringing streaks back. So if you don't know, the streaks at the actual streak system got changed so that it became like a score in one life as opposed to sort of keeping progress after death, which then brought them immediately back in the North American scene, but the European scenes still actually didn't allow them. But there is some talk going on about perhaps bringing them back. But that's pretty much it for the changes to the GAs. Let me know what you guys think about actually the GA system in general, and sort of what meta you guys think we'll be using, because it is quite interesting. I think there is certainly a lot of room now to actually make your own decisions as to what you want to use if you're a MP5, AK-74U really. I know some people were looking at different mags actually on the AK-74U, although I don't know if they have been since GA'd as well. I think I saw something on Twitter that potentially might mean that they were too. Right, but with that said and done, let's see if we can win the game. Nice, teammate clutched up, one more round. 2v4. There's one. There's two. Nice. There's three. Grab a sub. And there we are. That's how you clutch up a 2v4. Right, round 11, let's make this happen. So we've actually got offense again, which isn't always the most desirable, but looks like we've got a team that sort of know what they're doing. They're all hitting that side together and got 2 kills off the bat. What you love to see. Oh, there's one more in gold. Is that mid? Yeah, that's mid dead. And there we are, we won. Didn't actually see anyone in that last round, but we did manage to win the game. So that's what happens. If you focus up, if I focus up, if I'm not commentating, then I can win the game. So I guess I still got a bit of work to do in terms of gameplay commentary. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.